All right. So I'm going to redo this video. Hopefully, now it'll be a little bit better and you'll be able to see my menus. I had just done it and my menus were not showing up. So I'm going to show you how to start painting with those cool little texture PNG files that you've got when there's just a certain area and you don't want to just slap a texture down on it. So the first thing you want to do is up here in the left hand corner, we've got all our different studios that we can open up. First of all, I'm just going to open up the file so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I'm going to work on this file here, which is a 3D UV mapping for shoes that I'm working on, and I want to paint the textures that I've got on top of it instead of just slapping rectangle pictures on here and scaling them and such like I've been doing in Canva. So this is just a nice way to edit your 3D models in a 2D medium and still have it look really nice. So the first thing we're going to want to do is add the retouching studio at the top here. If you click on these three little dots to open up your studio manager, click on retouching, and then this will open up all of this stuff over here. But your brushes probably are not going to show up at first. So what you're going to want to do is open up anything that will open up your customize. I do view customize toolbar, but what I really want to customize here is my panels. So I click on panels, go down to brushes, and turn that on. So you'll be able to access your brushes panel. Once you've got that open, go to your brushes panel. I use a masking brush. Find whatever brush that you want to use. Here's my delete. So what we're going to want to do, I'm going to use this particular one. This will work on any of your masking brushes. Right click on it, click duplicate, so you can leave the original as is. Go into your new brush that you just created and click on edit brush. And then to edit the texture, just click on the texture tab, set texture, select your texture, and open. And that's pretty much it. You can make it bigger or smaller if you want. You can change any of these other settings if you prefer. I just want to get my texture into my brush. So there we have it. Now I'm going to click Save As. I'm going to name it Black Sparkle. Now it's saved. Oop, down here, Black Sparkle down at the bottom. Close. Now we're going to go over into your Layers panel. Click on Pixel Layer. And then this is the layer that I'm going to use so I can leave my base, my background layer intact. And I'm just going to name this layer my black layer. Now I've got my brush set. I've got my layer selected and open. I'm going to go over here, click on my brush tool, and I can start painting. The default is 64 pixels. Personally, I prefer to use a smaller brush. I like going about 10 to 14, 15. You can press down on your middle wheel button to scroll in and out as you roll it up or down. So I like to zoom way in And then you can start painting. Make sure you're getting exactly where you want to be, to the pixel. So there you have it. That's how you paint your textures on. If you'll notice, painting over it, depending on your settings, can make it thicker, add more. So be wary of that. If that's not the effect you want, make sure you can just go up here, edit, undo whatever it is that you did. Ta-da! And there you have it. Let me know if you have any more questions. Oh, you can change the opacity up here. You can also do that on each layer. So if I want to see, after I've painted this layer, if I want to see the grid behind it, I can just go over here, click there. I can make any layer so you can see through it, which comes in very, very handy when you're trying to adjust things. So as long as I've got it here, I'm not going to do a whole nother video. But as far as adding textures, pretty much the same kind of deal. You just add another pixel layer, and then you can literally just, open up your textures, and then just pull your texture right into the layer and adjust from there. So now we have this as the whole layer. I zoom back out. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is we're going to be on vector. So vector crop tool is one of my favorites because it takes what you've got. I'm going to move it. I'm going to scale it a little bit first. Okay, so you click on there. You can scale it up or down just by clicking on one of the corners. The vector crop tool is what you're going to want to use if you want to easily crop it using one of these handlebars, which also comes in very handy. Now, the other thing you're going to want to know is, well, how do I take this edge and move it up, but I don't want this edge to move, right? We want to warp it, the mesh, warp the mesh. So we're going to click on pixel. Click on this little guy right here, your mesh warp tool, right? That's going to turn this into a warpable object. If we want to do this edge, click on this guy right here. You'll see a couple more tools open up where you can click on the corner to pull it up. You can click on this guy to move it around, curve it in or out, or up or down. Same with this guy and this guy. All right, so you want to do this edge, just click on here, same process. So you can take this tool and use it to warp any of your textures that you lay down however you'd like, in some pretty cool ways if you really, really want to. So there's two very, very useful tools for you to use to paint your textures into your Affinity photos. Thanks. Have a great day. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.